Hello, hello.
What's up, everybody? George?
1925, the New York Giants podcast.
Yes.
Ironically, minus Nick again.
I know, right? I don't know what's up with that guy.
And also minus a New York Giant.
Yeah.
These are the breaks, folks.
Yeah, so we had to postpone Carl Banks to a later date, right, George? We got he's doing an event with the New York Giants tonight. So
yeah, I guess in the grand scheme of things, that does trump us.
Yeah, but we did want to come on here and kind of apologize for the postponement, but nothing we could do about it. We are in contact with his representative, and we will keep you posted, right?
It's still going on. So
we'll definitely get him
we got in the networking scheduling car accident. So there was a little accident and then it rippled into us. So someone, another event got pushed back and that pushed in our time. All good. We're happy to have Carl hopefully next week. And that's that.
Yeah, so Carl Banks postponed to a later date, but George, the Giants don't stop. Neither do we.
Can I do one thing before we get into the Giants?
Yes.
I think it would be a gross injustice if I didn't mention rest in peace, John Sterling, the God, I hope I don't cry during this, but the announcer of my childhood. I know he was a little goofy, and John Sterling, one thing about him, he did not give a fuck. He called a game the way he wanted to call a game. I know as he got older, the mistakes were a little more apparent. It is long, it is far. It is caught by Raul Ibanez. So it was a little goofy. We all had fun making fun of him and Susan. I mean, what a shit show sometimes. But John Sterling, the voice of my childhood, and he called a great game. His voice was perfect for it. I don't know if you're overly familiar being across the bridge, but John Sterling, other than Bob Shepard, I don't really know another voice synonymous with New York Yankees baseball. Bob Shepard, obviously the PA announcer, also one of the original PA announcers for the Meadowlands with the Giants. But Bob Shepard in the old stadium, iconic, and on the radio, John Sterling, man,
was the Yankees team broadcaster from 1989 to 2024. He also spent time calling games for the Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks, and the Baltimore Bullets. His career started in 1970. This man went for 54 years. May he rest in peace. The 12-time Sports Emmy Award winner. He announced 8 World Series, including 5 victories, including the Subway World Series against my beloved New York Mets.
Tom, you want to hear the wildest stat of all?
Yes.
He announced Derek Jeter's entire career. Put that into perspective. When he
long time.
When he hit his 3,000th hit, he made the statement, I don't know if I've ever thought I would see every single hit of one player. And then he did a little homage to Jeter, and obviously Jeter did it. The flair, the flair for the dramatic with the, the way he went out. But
yeah,
over 5,000 consecutive baseball games.
Unheard of. I wouldn't.
This is insanity. Like,
it takes a crazy kind of special man to pull off something like that. The only other person I could think is comparable is maybe Vin Scully. In my opinion, Vin Scully's the GOAT of play-by-play from a national baseball perspective, but John Sterling is indeed the Yankees.
Well, the thing I loved about Sterling is he was super smart, super polished.
Yes.
but he also didn't give a fuck. If he wanted to go on a rant in the middle of a dog shit inning in a blowout game, he went on a rant, and then still call a game. Like, that was the beauty of it. He'd be in the
And
middle
that's
of a
what
rant.
made him
Yeah.
so interesting, right? You could make an 8-0 game fun
Yeah.
and keep fans locked in and glued to that said game, even if it was getting out of hand. You wanted to hear his story and what he was talking about. And that's kind of our goal, right? On nights like tonight, where, you may get caught in a traffic jam with a guest or a talent. You want to provide that life and energy for your audience, for your fans.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think John Sterling was an awesome person to look up to in that department. But
And I love the fact that, and I don't recall other announcers doing this. He would always have a tagline for every player on the team when they hit a home run. Some of them were terrible, but I mean, you grow to get used to it. And
mhm,
I'm a guy. I love listening to baseball on the radio. I think a lot of times you get a better call on the radio because they don't have to focus on all the other bullshit that goes on in the visual of the game. On the radio, you get just the play-by-play, and you get all the color. Um, and he put up with Susan Waldman for 20 years, and that's impressive enough.
mhm.
That doesn't work without John Sterling, by the way.
Absolutely.
And Michael K. Obviously, I got to throw Michael K. in too.
Yeah, I have
But that
my
was good.
opinions on him, but yeah.
You don't like Michael K?
No, not
See,
not a K fan.
Sia is a great call, though. Great call.
Sia is a great call.
Great call.
But I'm personally more of a Bob Papa guy. Back
No,
to
yeah.
our Giants.
I love Bob Pop.
I think Bob Papa and Carl Banks make a great team, and we hope to have Carl Banks back on the show soon.
Mm-hmm.
But George, it's been a busy week for Big Blue. They're making moves, a lot of them, specifically at one position.
The defensive tackle?
Yes. So it started with Shelby Harris,
Mm-hmm.
and they signed Lecky Fotu.
I'm glad you pronounced that, not me.
And the big fish, DJ Reader, is a Giant, and I'm glad it's a 2-year deal, not a 1-year deal. $12.5 million, George. Only 5.25 is guaranteed, so there is an out after one season. But man, it's really tough to replace a guy like Dexter Lawrence. But when you sign 2 or 3 guys like this, our defensive line might be competent heading into this season. And I'm finally that we have a coach that emphasizes and focuses on the trenches, because we've been bad in them for a while.
Well, DJ Reader was in the scope to be on the team with Dexter Lawrence, if you remember. They were scoping that out while Dexter was still happy to be a Giant. And that just tells me, I have no doubt Dexter Lawrence went to upper management and said, "You got to get me a battle buddy down here." Especially with Nacho departing, and he just hasn't had that continuity. I always say that's a tandem position. I think he might even still be sour they didn't offer Leonard Williams the money quite a few years ago now. That affected it. So DJ Reader, welcome to the Giants. This isn't as exciting as Dexter Lawrence coming back, but I mean, we'll take it. Formidable player.
Yeah, it's a consolation prize. That's what it is. He's a but to his credit, he's a highly productive player in this league at 31 years old, and he emphasizes in stopping the run. He's not going to get to the quarterback, but he's a brick wall, and he's a large human. He's hard to move. He occupies space in the middle, and that will open things up for our backers like Arvell Reese and Tremaine Edmonds. I think this could be a very good thing going forward. I'm a lot more confident with DJ Reader. Yeah. But we'll see what they do next, George. I don't know if they have anything else. on the horizon and any tricks up
Oh,
their sleeves?
want me to take you on a little field trip?
Sure. Let's see.
This is the cool part about not having a guest.
Get a look at the man cave tonight. And there's still time. Got the little.
Oh, we ain't got nothing but time.
But Odell was not signed last week, George, like you predicted.
Dude, you know what's wild too? I don't know if you follow OBJ socials, but after that night, he posted like a motherfucker 10 times a day Giants highlights. I don't know. Did you catch that?
Probably not as much as you did. No.
So after I made my claim that he's going to get signed this week, I saw that and I'm like, holy fuck! Like, what am I, Kreskin? Like, but then nothing ever came of it yet. But I'm telling you right now, at some point, he might get cut soon thereafter, but he will be on this team. Mark my words.
I disagree. I don't think he'll be on this team, and here's why.
Yeah, but Tom, real quick, why would they? If it was a no, why wouldn't it be outletted as a no? Like, in this world with all the beat writers and the people that have the spies over at 1925 Drive and even their own employees sometimes dock shit out. Why not just we're not interested, not the right fit? Why leave it open ended and curious?
I think it all depends on the health of Neighbors, one, and what they do with certain guys like Jalen Hyatt, right? Because let's just say Neighbors has a setback and is not ready for camp. And let's say cut down comes along, they cut Jalen Hyatt, they cut, so if somebody important gets hurt, right, like a Darnell Mooney or Calvin Austin, then I think they sign OBJ. If there's a lot of question marks, I don't see those question marks and red flags right now. And look, I don't think Hyatt makes the roster regardless. But as far as like preseason goes, I think if he's signed before preseason, the Giants will have to cut somebody to make room for him. And I can see Hyatt potentially being a cut candidate post June 1st. And they could bring Odell on then. I also don't think they did it yet. And this is part of the reason why I think they waited on Reeder. If they sign a guy like Reeder or Odell, let's say if they did it before the draft, you don't get the 4th round comp pick for Wan'Dale next year in 2027. So Shane and company kind of play the waiting game, right? Let the dust settle with the draft. They couldn't grab a DT. You sign DJ Reeder after the draft, 2-3 weeks after the draft. And now you get that comp pick next year. Maybe there's something with that we don't know about as to why they're waiting. Personally, I don't think he's coming. I hate to say it. I don't think he's coming. I'm not saying I don't want him to come.
He's gonna be in the back pocket. I'm telling you.
He's definitely an option. An option.
You're gonna see Malik Neighbors. Okay. You're gonna see Darnell Mooney. You're gonna see Darius Slayton. Very limited. They can't really do anything with him right now, but I think he's gonna almost be a healthy scratch / he's going to come in the games once in a while. I don't think he's going to have a big role. Hyatt's going to get cut. I love Isaiah Hodgins. I think he's going to get. You're going to keep Gunner on special teams. And then that kind of leaves you.
Don't forget the rookie.
Well, no, the rookie. I kind of take the rookie out of the equation because they're already factored in. They're not going to cut him. I think it's going to leave you one spot for a guy who you can do something with. And I think it helps Neighbors, the LSU thing. Listen, Neighbors isn't exactly on the ball. Odell's a little older. I don't know. It just feels like I also think the Maras kind of want to like have a selling point, even besides the team. You know what I mean? And I kind of
they want it to end differently than the way Gettleman ended it.
Right.
8 years, correct. 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was.
Like they essentially blackballed OBJ. You send him to the Browns, and he could say what he wants about when he went to the Browns, he knew that was a death sentence for his career. He
Is
just fucking knew it.
is part of that Odell's own fault in terms of the things he said about players like Eli Manning? Because outside of Stafford, who Odell was only teammates with for a very brief time, by the way, Eli was the best quarterback Odell has ever had in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he went to Baker Mayfield. Then he went to, where else did he go after that?
He had a cup of coffee with the Dolphins, but
I think Winston was throwing balls to him at one point. Miami, yep.
No, listen, Eli and Odell were a fun little duo.
Deep down inside, I think those two always got along. I just think Odell didn't know how to handle the media back then, and the antics on the sideline I never liked. Like your average NFL player doesn't do that stuff. I always loved the guy's talent. He's older now. He doesn't do that stuff anymore. It seems to me he's grown up a lot. So with that being said, I would welcome him back. I think he would bring value to this football team. But do I think he's coming? And all your points you brought up are 100% valid. I still don't think he's coming.
Him is coming.
Stay tuned, folks. That is going to be a storyline.
Can you imagine the opening game eruption when little ass number 13 comes running out of the tunnel? Win, lose or draw. Even if he doesn't play a snap, just the visual of him, because they'll probably do the typical move where he leads the team out kind of thing on the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, the place will go nuts, man. You'll have him in your pocket.
I can see it.
All right, what else we got besides Odell? Carl Banks cancellation / postponement. What else we got on the dock? Oh, John Sterling we talked about. What else?
We talked about Reader. And then I think it'll be interesting to see in the coming weeks what they do if they bring on a fourth quarterback, right? If they bring one on for the practice squad, if there's some competition for Brandon Allen, because in years past, George, they've only carried 2 QBs on the 53. Two exceptions were last year and the year before. So do they go back to 2 QBs? Do they bring in a third with Brandon Allen? This year, Jackson Dart had some injury issues last year. Hopefully that gets shored up. We obviously saw that with Daniel Jones for 6 seasons.
Another selling point for a guy named Odell Beckham Jr. He can sling the rock. He can be your emergency quarterback too.
He can, actually.
Saving you a roster spot.
Yeah. Oh, man. And, it's funny. Like, I've talked to coworkers this week, too, some that aren't even Giants fans. They're high on the Giants this season as far as you guys might be a 7 seed in the NFC. Like, you guys you have a shot to make the playoffs. You might even have an outside shot to steal this division from Philly.
It's going to come down to stopping that fucking illegal play.
Like, this is the first time in a long time I felt like all 4 teams are good enough, not bad enough, but good enough to win this division. Like the one year Washington won at 7-9. I don't really count that because everybody was bad, right? You had Taylor Heineke starting football games for them and looking like, the second coming. Mm-hmm. So I am really excited. It's going to be a fun off season. And, I know you've been a fan for a very long time of this team, longer than me. This team has a lot of history, and it would be awesome to get back to their winning ways. And speaking of winning teams, I know there's another event in May later this month, George, that is coming up that we also want to talk about. And we'll get to that, the Woodbridge event.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah, so the 40th anniversary of the 1986 New York Giant World Championship team. All these guys you see here in front of you, some of these guys, friends of the show, I might add, they will be at this event signing. You see the prices if you squint a little bit; those are per player. Um, Great event. Look at all our boys there. We got Leonard Marshall, we got Mark Collins, friend of the show. We got Gary Reasons, friend of the show. Carl Banks, who we're having next week.
Hopefully.
Oh, I don't know if LT's still going, but I would assume he's going to try to go.
Yeah. By the way, glad he's out of the hospital now. That's
Jim Burt. We got George Martin, Joe Morris. I mean, OJ Anderson, Mark Bavaro, Harry Carson, Lionel Manuel. I mean, Terry Kennard. There's some bad motherfuckers going to this thing. That is for sure.
We've interviewed 3 guys on this list too. Would have been 4.
Yeah. And we have others in the works that are on this list. That's a little bit of a tease for you. There are some other people we're going to have on the show eventually on that list. Make sure you check that out. Woodbridge Brewing Company.
Is there a start time, or is it like an all day thing when the venue opens?
It's kind of, I believe the autograph signing part operates almost like how your Comic-Cons do. It's like you walk around the different tables and such, and each player has their own little setup and all that. But I do believe there's a cocktail party that evening, which you could pay to get into. Suit and tie event where you can rub elbows and talk to some of these guys. The players, I believe, are split up between the 2 days. So if anyone's planning on going, not all players are there both days. So just keep that in mind.
Interesting. Yeah. And
but Woodbridge,
40 years.
This Woodbridge Brewing Company, I mean, they have Rangers, Knicks, Yankees, and Mets, Devils. Almost every weekend there's a player there. So that's pretty impressive. They're big on the Mets, too. They have a lot of old Mets go there.
Yeah. It's, 1986, Giants-Mets won both championships in 40 years, George.
If you were alive back then, like say you were like a 15-year-old kid, that would have been the summer of your life. Like you roll into the fall with a World Series team, and then you roll right into a great football season. You would have been best year of your life.
That was the year my brother was born, 1986. 40 years. Speaking of 40, happy early 40th birthday to
May 9th.
Yes, my older brother, your best friend George, Dan Scavetta.
Happy birthday, brother! Love you.
And as a Giants Mets fan, he was born on a great year. Although I don't know if he necessarily got to experience. Oh no, he did. He was a little less than 1, right? Because the Super Bowl was in '87. You probably don't remember the first one too well either, right? You were less than 2, if I had to say.
Yeah, no, I do remember '90 vividly.
Like a distant memory.
I gotta tell you, I remember that game. I obviously I knew who Lawrence Taylor was. I knew who Phil Simms was. I mean, obviously it was a Jeff Hostetler game, but I knew like the major players. But I just remember like not totally understanding what a Super Bowl was, but just sitting in the living room watching it with my dad. You knew it was a big deal. You know what I mean? On your fuzzy Zenith television, tube TV, with like the wood paneling around it.
Interesting.
And you just knew like it was a big deal, And I don't think I stayed up for the whole thing. I was a little kid, but I do vividly remember. And that's probably when I got hooked, honestly.
Yeah. Great time to get hooked as a Giants fan too. Although I will say after that Super Bowl, the 90s were not great, but late 80s.
That was actually the dick tease of it all. So as I got a little bit older and like really interested in this team, like I'm looking up stats and I'm collecting their cards and I'm watching the games, we were fucking abysmal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to know how many number 1 first round draft picks we blew in the early 90s. I mean, it was just rough. Oh,
because Simms and LT retired within 12 months of each other, right?
93.
And then Sims was 94, or was he 93 too?
It was after 93 because Strahan shared 1 year with Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
And then they made the carousel of quarterbacks for the next 5 or 6 years. Dave Brown, Danny Cannell, Kent Graham, eventually settling on Kerry Collins, who was at the time, a sight for sore eyes. And then we got clapped in the Super Bowl pretty good.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That's when Mara was like, worst team to win the NFC Championship, and in 2 weeks we're going to try to be the best team, the worst team to ever win the Super Bowl.
Well, if you remember, we kicked the absolute shit out of the Vikings.
41-0 in the Meadowlands.
Like, so yep. if you're not pumped up after that, I mean, and when you're a kid, you're like, we're gonna fucking do this.
I think I was how old was I?
That would have been 2000.
5 for me.
Right. So that was like my 90s Super Bowl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched that game on VHS. The Ike Hilliard touchdown, the Greg Camella touchdown. I'm so glad we have a fullback again. I know Patrick Ricard is nothing like Camella. Camella seemed to be a guy who could catch a lot of passes. Pat Ricard is going to be more of a bulldozer, snuff you out type of fullback, old school physical mentality.
That was the young Ray Lewis kicking the shit out of us. That's all that was.
That defense was just unstoppable. That's probably. Would you agree that was a top 5 defense of all time that we ran into, that Ravens team?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think obviously the Giants also ran into the Bears quite a bit, who you could argue was 1 or 2. But speaking of all this, I would put the 86 Giants defense in that category as well.
I feel like you kind of have to, because you had a lot of good young players like an LT, Carl Banks, Leonard Marshall, Pepper Johnson, Gary Reasons, and Carson was towards the latter.
No, but still, yeah, he was on the team.
That was an insane linebacking crew when you think about it. But
little Perry Williams.
Perry Williams was there. Yep. Mark Collins, and
He didn't start. They started Elvis Patterson.
That's right. that is right. But speaking of defense, George, the Giants now are starting to build a defense that has talent that could remind you of defenses of the past, maybe in 2007 or 2011 or 2016, where they were so dominant. And Brian Burns is one of the premier players of this defense, so much that the New York Giants superfan, license plate guy, is naming the celebrity softball game after him on May 30th, Saturday, Clover Stadium in Pomona, New York. That's in the lower Hudson Valley region, Rockland County. It's about, I want to say, 30 miles outside of New York City, about. What do you think, George? I know we got some rosters to go over.
Yeah, sure. Let's pop it up.
Yeah, let's pop it up. All right. So we could cover it or we could share it, and you choose.
No, you can leave it right here. Just get rid of the Brian Burns celebrity softball game bumper. There we go. All right, so we got here the softball game, May 30th. All right, start time at 2 p.m. This is a great event that LPG does. Totally impressive how not one person, but you get what I'm saying. He can get this all together, just being a common fan, obviously. This benefits the Hype for Life Foundation, which is an organization that works with Brian Burns and his brother, who's also a former player. Burns' nephew has autism, so it's something near and dear to their heart. And basically, we're going to have a celebrity softball game here. And look at this roster. I mean, this is nutty. Like, I mean, you got some real deep pulls, and you got studs, and you got Hall of Famer type players. I mean, this is insanity. Who do you got here? Let's roll through some names.
So it looks like it's a lot of the current guys against the old heads,
Yep.
mishmashed in there. And my heart wants to go with Team Jacobs, but my head is saying go with Team Burns. A lot of younger, athletic guys on that team. But let me tell you something. It's tough to bet against guys like Brandon Jacobs, Justin Tuck, Eli Manning in anything in
I gotta
life.
tell you, there is some deep pulls on Team Jacobs. We got Dominique Rogers Cromartie,
Luke
Chris Snead,
Pettigrew?
Luke
Wow.
Pettigrew, Chris Canty, Jonathan Hankins,
Jesse Armstead.
Prince Amukamara. I mean, this is a is that was it Richie James, the receiver?
I don't know if that's
Yeah,
might
it must be,
be
right?
Richie James II. Yeah.
No shit. Jonathan Casillas just above him.
Yeah.
Antrell Roll. We got David Tyree,
Stephen Baker.
Madison Hedgecock, Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker.
Yeah.
We got Greg Jones. Holy
Rodney
shit.
Hampton is there.
Michael Boley. I'm just going over Jacobs right now. We got Michael Boley, Henry Hynoski, Madison Hedgecock, Eli Manning,
I
Justin Tuck.
believe Kevin Boss is below Toomer. That last name that's
Oh, is he?
cut off. Yeah.
All right. So that was who stands out on Team Jacobs' side here?
The boring answer is Brandon Jacobs because I mean that dude could pretty much I feel like be good at any sport.
You don't think Eli could hit the shit out of a softball?
Oh, he can for sure. I'm sure he's got a lot of power, but I'd be a little concerned if David Tyree was the center fielder on an Eli Manning line drive fly ball into deep center. I'd be a little worried, but luckily they're on the same team.
All right, so let's shift over to Team Burns now because this is where now this is also scary because all these guys are mostly active.
It's a larger team.
I'd hate to see an ACL pull here. Brian Burns, Malik Neighbors, Famous Jameis, KT, Russell, Big Russ.
Yeah, he'll strike out.
Unemployed at the moment. No, Russ was a pretty good ball player. Drafted by the Rockies, I believe.
You should have seen him at the Savannah Bananas game though a couple of weekends ago, pinch hitting. Not good.
He was
not good.
That's weird. Andrew Thomas, Tyrone Tracy, Sweet Baby Jesus, Jackson Dart, Cam Scadaboo, Patrick Ricard, likely. So we got the Baltimore guys. Big Theo. Oh, Arvell Reese is there.
Maui Noah.
Noah, Malachi Fields, all the rookies. Let's see. Jack Kelly, Darius Slayton, Micah, man, Drew Phillips, Fedoni.
Pinnock.
This is great. I mean, who does not want to go to this?
I don't know who Zach Tinker is. That might have been Zach Triner, the long snapper. It's pretty cool that Nacho's coming back, even though he signed with the Bucks, that he's still playing in this.
Yeah, he probably, I mean, obviously he probably committed and didn't really know where it was going to go. But
right.
This is interesting. I will say this, though. Oh, man, I'm going to get killed for this. I think there's some guys that could play smart softball on Team Jacobs. I really do. Not all football players can play baseball. You got to remember that. It's not universal. But I think Manning, Tuck, I bet Manningham, Bradshaw, Jacobs could probably crush a ball. Hynoski could probably play. This is tough, man. I don't know, because I mean, man, I don't. This is gonna be tough. We'll figure it. We'll find out who's gonna.
Yeah, win. we still got a few weeks. I'm probably leaning Team Burns right now, but yeah, that'll be May 30th in Pomona, New York. The game should be starting mid-afternoon, I believe. I don't know if they announced a first pitch time that might be revealed closer to the date, but May 30th. I've been there several times. I've worked events there before, recently, actually. New turf on that field, by the way. It is not natural grass anymore. They broke out the turf for the Division II baseball season, or actually Division II and Division I home turf to Manhattan College in the Bronx and St. Thomas Aquinas College in Rockland County, New York of Division II. So, yeah, a couple baseball schools have broken out that turf. Also home of the New York Boulders of the Frontier League. formerly known as Boulder Stadium, George. You've seen some guys like Ian Kinsler, former MLB player, play for that. So they have guys, and this
Speaking of this, what about the Long Island Ducks and Trevor Bauer? Holy shit!
You see that no hitter or that one hitter, whatever he had.
That guy. Listen, we're gonna get shit for this too. I know, like, the whole Me Too movement. That's a real thing. Don't get me wrong. Any of these motherfuckers that do shady shit to women, I get it. His thing, though, he never got, like, found guilty of it. It was just kind of like a weird. There's something with his issue, and I don't know if MLB was just too scared at the time to deal with it, kind of thing. But
maybe.
Well, the other part is Trevor Bauer started letting people know on the dirty inside of baseball, and obviously no one's going to touch him. But I mean, there's major league teams that could use Trevor Bauer and could have used him the last 4 or 5 years. But holy fuck, he's on the Long Island Ducks.
Yeah, that's.
He might get a shot somewhere though. He might. You never know.
I don't know. It might be a Pete Rose situation or something like that. Hopefully not, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, Brian Burns Celebrity Softball Game, May 30th. A lot of cool events coming up for the Giants faithful. And then a month or two after that, George, you get training camp. And then come August, you get back into the swing of things. You get preseason coming up, and then week 1 is just a little over 4 months away. So, yeah, it's going to be here quicker than you think, folks. And I don't know about you, George. I'm very excited for this 2026 Giants team to take the football field. I'm really looking forward. I still can't believe John Harbaugh is our coach. That's going to be so exciting in week 1. And I'm also excited to see our schedule reveal. I know we know our opponents, but we don't know what weeks, where we'll be playing. We might get an international game. We might be going back to Germany or London. I don't know, but we'll see.
Also, we at 1925 are going to be planning to do some live event stuff at the training camp. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for that. That's when you really start to see if the teams look like. I'll be honest with you. Me and Nick went 2 years ago to training camp, and outside of Saquon looking pretty good, I mean, we were just kind of like, oh, this just feels like it's not going place. You could just see it, like DeVito was there, as like a relative unknown, and you're just kind of looking at him like, oh man, who's this little guy? Like, he's never going to make the team. You know what I mean? Fooled us, right? But stuff like that's great at training camp. It's an expanded roster. You're going to see guys at their earliest, working, and some of them even getting punished, which is really funny.
We'll see. And George, we also want to reveal our new social media banner that we made. Why don't you walk the folks through on where they can contact us and find us on social media?
All right. So actually, this is also going to double as a business card. All right. So if we see you in the flesh, all right. Hence the little scan me to connect sign. So 1925 New York. I'm bad at this. The 1925 New York Giants podcast at yahoo.com is our email. All right. So anything you want to say, reach out. Any of our business inquiries go through there. Our Instagram is at 1925 the New York NYG podcast. We had to shorten it. And YouTube 1925 the New York Giants podcast. Our link tree is stated down below. The link tree has everything you see above. And if you scan that little, what do they call those?
QR code.
QR code. There we go. If you scan that QR code with your phone, it'll pull all this stuff up for you. All right.
Nice. Thanks for going through that for the folks, George. I'm sure we'll try to make that a weekly thing maybe for the next few weeks. End of the shows, try to just push the socials a lot. We just surpassed 800 followers on Instagram.
Man, not bad.
Great work. And then also YouTube, we're closing in on 900 subscribers. So, folks, friendly neighborhood reminder, if you haven't already done so, make sure to go smash that subscribe button and give us a follow on Instagram. We like to post a lot of content. George does his weekly housekeeping videos to kind of catch you up on all the fun stuff that we're up to. We're always up to something. We're always DMing somebody, getting DMs, posting videos, me doing those reaction videos.
Nick doing nothing.
Should clip that off.
Well, no, me and Nick, honestly, we pull our hair out on the back end.
You guys have tough jobs.
But you know what? We love it. And when you secure some of these guests and you make some of these connections with other Giants fans, and a lot of them more notable than us, let's say, it's good, man.
Absolutely. And we'll have more next week and in the following weeks. George, any
you got a Nick game update for me? I didn't turn my TV on.
They're at commercial. But I do have the score in front of me. Knicks up 96-94, 7:47 to go in the fourth quarter, I think.
I fucking knew it. They're going to blow them out with Embiid, and now you take Embiid out, and they're going to do more rotations. We're going to struggle. Fucking knew it. I saw it. I called it. I'm a Knicks fan. This is what we do.
Love it. Well, let's get to watching those last few minutes of the game. George, appreciate you hopping on and co-host tonight. I know no Nick 2 weeks in a row, not the easiest task, but I'm sure we'll have him back, hopefully, whether it's with Carl or another guest next week.
Yep. So Carl, we're shooting for next week, fellas. All right. If not, it'll probably be the week after. We'll work it out. We also have a couple other big guests we're working on who are pretty close to reeling in. So it just depends on our schedules, ironically, which is really the funny part.
We get it all sorted out. We get it all hashed out. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, George.
Rest in peace, John Sterling.
Yes.
One more. I don't have a drink. I don't have a drink tonight. I'm sober.